Here's a very good weapon XP farm method. You'll want to go to Eden Grove, right next to this lodestone, the Elsian Shrine. Make your way south a little bit, stay on the path. There's really not too many ads on the way up the path. You'll be met with probably some people in there. It'd be worth your time to get into a raid group, since weapon XP does carry over from the people in your raid group. It doesn't really take that long to complete. It's about a 2 to 3 minute. I think there's about 5 rounds of mobs, including 2 bosses. The way that weapon XP works, even if you're not actively fighting something, if the members of your raid group do damage to and kill an enemy, you'll be awarded weapon XP for whatever weapon you're holding at the time. Not on your back, but the one in your hand. The way that you're awarded weapon XP personally is not necessarily for your personal contribution to the death of that mob, but it is split in half for each weapon that you use to hit it. So if you only use one weapon while killing a mob, the entirety of that weapon XP will actually go to that weapon. If you use 2 weapons in the course of killing it, it'll be split evenly. The numbers based on the difficulty, the level of the other boss, but it doesn't really matter how much damage you contribute overall to the kill with each weapon, because it'll be split in half once that's over with. It'll be beneficial, like I said earlier, to join a raid group for this, not only because of the shared weapon XP, but also it's just easier to take down that final boss. He's got quite a bit of health, but you really don't need to be concerned about damage or anything like that. Use some sort of attribute food. I'm running a low con on this build because it's really not necessary to have a beefy con, and you'll see I'm running kind of a wacky build with a mace and a bow. That's just the 2 weapons that I want to increase my weapon XP on. Obviously, this doesn't really matter if you're already maxed in a certain weapon, but especially with the flail, it being a new weapon, you know, I'm sure there'll be a lot of interest in that. There's quite a bit of loot that gets dropped every time. Not always a legendary, maybe at least 1 or 2, but there's definitely been some times that I've done it and you only get purple or blue. There's about a 6-minute spawn timer after you kill the final boss. I usually take that time to just chop some trees. I think after about 2 hours of chopping trees in between, I got 10 levels of logging. So it really is a beneficial use of your time. There's a lot of mature trees around here. You can get aged wood. At least in my server, aged wood's going for quite a good price. There's not too many other resources in this area. You'll come across a few herbs here and there. Not any silkweed or anything like that. Really, I'd just stick to chopping trees. After that 6 minutes has elapsed, you know, you can make your way back to the arena. There is no bis gear that's dropped here, unfortunately. Like I said earlier, you will come across a few legendaries, not too many. You get some battle medals, some war medals, things like that. This does drop a glyph stone. Last time I checked, though, that glyph stone was only a couple dollars on the trading post. You're not really here for the loot, you're here for the weapon XP. In just a couple hours, you can definitely take a weapon from a low level to almost max, and I'd say at any time of day you'll find people here. Stick around to the end, you can see the loot that I get after we kill this boss. It's actually pretty good. I got quite a few legendaries. There's not a whole lot of diversity in what's dropped here, but you know, we're just here for the weapon XP. Anyway, thanks, and subscribe, I guess.